Mark Twain has said a lot of funny and interesting things, but you know what he said about chickens and eggs? Or how his comment applies to good leadership? Stick around and I'll tell you in this edition of Lines for Leaders. Mark Twain was at different times a typesetter, a riverboat pilot, miner, journalist, writer, lecturer, and humorist. Perhaps best known for his novels Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, he's also left us with a broad number of witty quotes which still resonate more than a century after his passing. One I came across last week stuck with me to the point where I wanted to share it with you, and it goes like this. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who's merely laid an egg cackles as if she's laid an asteroid. Of course, if it had truly been an asteroid, there probably wouldn't be much chicken left to cackle about it. But even 100 years ago, Twain recognized we're living in an attention economy. There's a lot of cackling going on all around us, and it seems everyone wants us to look their way. In the battle for attention, at times the ability to make noise seems to become more important than whatever it is we're making noise about. But this is a self-defeating cycle. Every time I hear that I can 10x my growth, or use these 5 killer hacks to transform my life, the less interested I become. All too often, the louder the cackling, the smaller the egg. Like the sensational subject lines and all that spam in my Gmail account, I've learned to ignore it. So sadly, when something really will help me transform my life with just a paper clip and half a roll of duct tape, I'm probably going to miss it. But what's our role as leaders in this noisy chicken coop of ours? We've got to get past the cackling and focus on the egg. To do that, here are 3 things we want to keep in mind as we head on down to the hen house. Praise the asteroids. First off, it might be an asteroid, at least to the chicken. If one of our teammates has produced their very first egg, that's a big deal and it's worthy of attention. If that's the case, we should celebrate the accomplishment with some positive reinforcement. Be sure to say thank you. Add a little public praise if you think they'd like it. Smile. We don't have to dance a jig, but a little recognition, especially for new accomplishments, can really go a long way. Don't make them beg. If it's hard to get our attention, one of 2 things will happen. Either people will stop trying, or like a child making life hard at the grocery store, they're going to make more and more noise until we finally look their way. But if the only way we notice someone's accomplishment is when they tell us about it, then pretty soon the only people we'll have around us will be the self-promoters, and they're just going to keep up that racket. What's better is for us to be personally present to see what they've done, to share in their accomplishment, and give them the recognition for a job well done when they earn it. To do that, we've got to get out of the office and down on the front lines and focus on the actions of our teammates, all of them. And that brings me to the 3rd thought. Seek the silent. In a group setting, it's been shown that people who speak the loudest and speak the most tend to carry the most weight. But that doesn't mean they have all the best ideas. As Susan Cain relates in her book Quiet, the people who grab that spotlight don't necessarily have all the best answers, and often they're no more qualified to be cackling than anybody else. What we need to do is to seek out the silent. It's like the quiet kid in the back of the classroom. Either they haven't done their homework and they're trying to hide, or they know more than we think, and we should give them a little airtime to share their thoughts. Whichever it is, we should probably know what's going on. So seek out the silent and make a point to ask them what they're thinking. In a world that's clamoring for us to look, the loudest and brashest cacklers tend to get all the attention. But the reason for the cackling doesn't always measure up to the thing they're cackling about. Noise proves nothing. We've got to go to the hen house. We've got to talk with the chickens, all of them, and we've got to look at the eggs. You probably won't find any asteroids, but one of them might be golden. Lead on.